Is it Clarabelle? Clarabelle? And then Wayne White is on deck.
My name is Clara Ball, and I live at 10113 East 71st Terrace. I have traveled Willow there for 45 years. We've lived in the same house on 71st Terrace for 51 years. And when our son lived up there on the corner, and we had 2 grandchildren, we've traveled that, like I said, for 45 years. We've never seen an accident. We meet people coming and going both ways, but I have never met anybody who was discourteous about anything on that street. If you meet a car, you pull over a little bit and they pass. Or maybe they pull over and I pass. I'm 80 years old, and I really don't like when I go to our son's house that I have to go west on 70th Terrace, wait to get out on Raytown Road, go through 3 lanes of traffic, the stoplight, and then I have to turn left again on 71st Terrace to get to my house. Where I live there, I can see Raytown Road and Gregory, and there is numerous accidents there all the time, and sometimes the traffic is tied up. I see this frequently. And I don't want to be part of that. I just don't understand why there's nothing wrong with that street that somebody's trying to change it. It's been okay for many, many years. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. White. And then Christy Legrone is on deck. Evening, sir. Thanks for coming out.
My name's Wayne White. I live on 10105 East 71st Terrace, and I've been there for about 35 years. And same sentiment like many of the people before me. I haven't seen any accident. People go up and down, courteous to each other. Being one way is an inconvenience. I think what needs to be done is just maybe widen it and make it a regular 2-lane street. Add a couple of feet on both sides or something.
Thank you, sir. Christy?
Hello, I'm Christy Legrone, and I live on 69th Street, so just a couple blocks over, but I've lived in Raytown. I've lived in that whole neighborhood for 35 years, my entire life. I mean, for me, it's just a matter of, because my father lives a couple blocks behind me, so I go frequent him. We go up to the First Baptist Church and spend a lot of time up there. You know, we walk and things, and it's just become an inconvenience to have to drive clear around to bring him back home. Unfortunately, he's not been able to drive until recently. And so it's just, that's been an inconvenience. I mean, I've never myself in 35 years seen an accident, but I do agree that, you know, a yield sign would be a good answer. That's not going to be, you know, a costly answer as far as like maybe the widening of the street would. I mean, that would be nice if, you know, that could be done. But I mean, most people just yield to oncoming traffic. You know, they see somebody at the top of the street, they wait at the bottom of the street. It's just been that way forever. And I know, you know, besides that, going up to the swimming pool back and forth, and it's just been so much easier. And it's like, I feel that, you know, if nothing can be changed and it does have to be one way, that it should in fact be turned around, just because it is a lot more convenient that way. I mean, I don't know if, I mean, I know I don't have anything to do with them, but like the trash services and the bus services, I don't know if they're having to change their routes due to this, but to me it just seems like a lot of rearranging for things. And I know the school buses, their routes are already, if they're not going to be able to go down that street, that's going to be another big change. And I know the beginning of the year is always an issue with the bus routes sometimes, so that's just something else for you guys to maybe think about too.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
These are this is a list of people that had signed up when they came in the door. We also still, if you want to speak to the board, this would still be a time you're welcome to approach the podium at this time. If you didn't sign up, it's okay. Gentlemen.
Yeah, Norton Hickman, 7200 Hedges in Raytown. I've been here since 1944, and I've seen a lot of changes in this town. I've seen some good stuff, bad stuff, and some things that's really not even worth mentioning. And to make that street a one-way street, that's got to be one of the, well, I won't say that, but, you know, that street's been a two-way street. Sure, it's a little narrow street, but everybody gets through it. And there's no reason to make it a one-way street. If you have an accident at Gregory and Raytown Road, and it ties up that whole intersection, you have no way to get around except come down there and go around. That's the only way you're going to get around. And it's foolish, you know. Whoever thought that, you know, that it should be one way, you know, the arrows are pointing the wrong ways, you know. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Welcome.
I would like to voice my disapproval of the one-way street. I understand the problem of people driving through people's yards. I've seen it happen to Jason several times. But as it's been said, it's not going the right way. You have to cross 2 lanes into a very congested intersection to get around it. It's a bad idea. You either need to switch the one-way signs or put a yield sign at both sides of the street.
Very good. Thank you.
Mayor Bauer.
We get your name, sir, please. Robert Youngs. Thank you. Anyone else? Once? Twice? Well, I'll tell you what I think is, I can't speak for the board, but there's been a fair amount of, more than a fair amount of passion exhibited tonight on this subject. So there's a couple of ways that we typically do it, and I appreciate your patience with us. This board's practice is to actually listen to the public comments. So we don't engage in discussion with you at this point. We listen to your comments. A couple of different ways we do this, and the subject may come up, and Alderman can ask that the agenda be modified for tonight, for example. The board then would act upon that. They will say yes or no, they want to include that discussion tonight. The general rule, however, is that we ask the alderman to bring a discussion item the Thursday prior to a board meeting so that all the aldermen and the public become aware of the issue that's going to be discussed, so we get more comment, pros and cons in both ways. And we found that to be something that's worked very well for us. So please forgive us if we're not asking for comments or discussing. We want to listen to those comments. So that's why you're just getting people taking notes up here. So please help us with that. Anything else on that subject? I'm going to ask one more time if anybody else wants to bring up any other item, public comment session.